Hey guys, so today we're going to do this drawing in Inventor. This is another additive process drawing, and what I mean by additive process is we are doing a extrusion and we're adding another extrusion on top, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. In Inventor, you're going to click New, Standard IPT, Create. Tell it okay if that box pops up. And once I'm in my drawing space, I always go home first, then click the chevron next to origin and look at my planes. On this drawing, I think it would be best to draw on the top plane to make this base part here with the angle. So that's what we're going to do. So top plane is XZ. I'm going to click XZ and I'm going to click Start 2D Sketch. I'm going to use my line command and I'm going to draw what I think the shape looks like. So it's got a long side, it's got a short side, it's got this angle, then it goes straight. Notice I'm keeping my lines even. And remember, a couple of things about lines in sketch mode. You cannot do this. You cannot draw part of a line and then add a line to it. This is now two separate line segments, and the computer is going to recognize that not as the one entity it needs to be when we dimension it, but as two separate ones. So if you make a mistake like that, don't panic. Just press Escape on your keyboard, click one line and press Delete on your keyboard. Click the second line and press Delete on your keyboard. And you can see down here, I didn't draw this guy too straight, so I'm going to fix him as well. Again, Escape on your keyboard, click the line, press Delete on your keyboard. So I'm going to go back to my line command and I'm going to fix my mistake. And I'm going to make sure I keep this line nice and straight. And then I'm going to click and I'm going to close off my shape. Now also remember, if you make it too short like this, you can't just add that second line. So you're going to hit Escape, you're going to click on Extend, and you're going to click on the line and it's going to close it off nice. And now I see I have an endpoint there. Once I have the shape, which looks like this thing underneath, I am going to start putting the dimensions on. You always want to start with the largest dimension. So I'm going to click Dimension. I'm going to click this back line and I'm going to click on the number and put in 2.25. Okay. Now the next dimension I have is over here. This says 0.75 from this corner to the start of the tower part that goes up. And then the depth again on that tower part is 0.75. So I can either do that math or I can let Inventor do that math. So I'm going to click on the line, drag the number out, 0.75 plus 0.75, and Inventor does the math for you. And it was 1.5. Now I need this side here at the bottom, and it's 1.25. Okay. I don't have a measurement for this line here on purpose. Okay, but I do have an angle. And if I look at the drawing, the angle is from this line to here is 45 degrees. So I can click this line and then this line and see it gives me an angle measurement. And I'm going to do that again because it's a little weird. Dimension, click one line, click the adjacent line, and just change that to 45. And now you have the base correctly dimensioned. I'm going to hit Finish Sketch. And let's see how thick this thing is. It's 0.5 tall. So I'm going to extrude 0.5. I'm going to tell it OK. And I'm going to use Zoom All to get it back on the center of my screen. And I'm going to pick a pretty color. Oh, let's go for pink show up. Pink shows up. Okay. Now I need to draw this tower part here. Okay. So one thing I can do is I can draw it from the back side because it's kind of sitting on this line. Well, it is sitting on this line. It isn't kind of sitting on this line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate my model so that I'm looking at the back of my drawing, and I'm going to click Start 2D Sketch, and I'm going to click that rectangle. And now remember, whenever you add a sketch to existing geometry, you have to come up here to Project Geometry and click Project Cut Edges. And now it's really faint on my screen and probably hard to see, but there is a green outline around my part so I can dimension from that space. So now I'm drawing this piece, and it tells me it's 1 inch tall, and then it's got this thing going on, and it's got another angle. And this time it doesn't give me the angle measurement, but it gives me the 2 lines on the other side, so I don't need to worry about the angle measurement on this one. So I'm going to sketch it, and remember, it's kind of going to look a little backwards because I'm literally drawing it from the back. Okay. And we're going to make sure, zoom up on it and make sure that you get those little endpoints that are touching on the existing geometry. So now we're going to click Dimension. And this thing is, how tall did I say it was? It's 1 inch tall. And then this distance from this line to this line is 1 1/4. See them there? So I'm going to click this line. Then I'm going to click the smaller line opposite it, and see it puts the number, the measurement in the middle. And I'm going to put in 1.25. And see it kicks it out and makes it the correct size. I'm going to do that again for y'all because it's kind of a new thing where you're dimensioning between 2 lines. So click Dimension, click the tall vertical line, click the short vertical line, put the number in the middle, and click and put in 1.25, and it makes it the correct size. Now I'm going to click this line here, and that's 0.5, and the one at the top should be 0.5 as well. It is. See him up there? He's 0.5. So we're going to click the line, drag it up, click, type in 0.5, and there's that part of my sketch. So I'm going to click Finish Sketch. And I'm going to go home so I can see this whole thing. And now you see how I drew it on the back? We're going to bring it to the front. So I'm going to click Extrude. I'm going to click my profile. Okay, and it wants to go to the right because it defaults to go to the right. But we are going to click this button right here where it says Direction To. And look at that. It flips it to extrude it to the side we want it to go to. And the distance we said was, right, it is 0.75 thick. So we're going to change that and tell it OK. And now you have a perfect model of what I drew, what we needed to draw. And you can look and see at the back, you can see that it made it one continuous shape rather than multiple shapes. And I'm just going to decline that call real quick while I'm on the doing a Zoom with y'all. Okay, so then we're going to save it, File, Save As. And I'm in my Inventor Drawings folder, and I'm going to save it as Inventor 2. Okay, now we're going to do our IDW. So we're going to go File, New, PLTWA, Create. Project name is Practice. Put in your correct name, put in the date. Okay, file name can be practice 2. Tell it okay. Tell it okay a second time. Base, there's the front view. Click above him. Click to the right. Click to the corner. Tell it okay. Once your views are placed, we're going to move our views, spread them out just a wee bit. Kind of get this guy, there we go. And I'm going to come up to the isometric and double click on the red dotted line. And I'm going to change it to shaded so it looks pretty. You're going to save it again, File, Save As. Let it save exactly where it wants to save with the IPT. Inventor number 2, IDW, don't change the file name, tell it save. Now, my friends at home, you guys need to export to PDF because some of y'all have been turning in IDWs and IPTs on Canvas, and Canvas will take them, but then I have to download them to open every single one of them. And if you put a PDF in Canvas, I can do this a lot faster. So you're going to go File, Export, PDF, and just save and then upload it to Canvas. Folks in the room, remember, print to General E115 and put it in your tray at the back of the room. Okay, so this has been number 2. We will come back and do number 3 where we're going to do subtractive processes. See you then, guys.